today. Who's going to win the NFC North and who will play in and win Super Bowl 58, which is in Las Vegas this year?
All right, I'll go in order in terms of the questions. The NFC North, the Bears will not take the North this year. I'm not sure where they will finish this year. I don't like the Lions. I'm tired of that story already before the season even starts. I don't trust the Packers because of reasons we may see Sunday with Jordan Love. Who's he throwing to, by the way? Anybody name their top 5 wide receivers? And can you spell the names correctly? I doubt it. The Vikings are going to win the division. The Vikings have the best player in the division. They have the best assistant coach in the division. And they have a quarterback that plays 12 of the 17 games in daylight hours. So I think Kirk Cousins is going to be good enough. The Vikings will win the NFC North. As for the NFC in general, I would love to say the 49ers. I think I pick them every year. I like the way they play football. I like the way they play action pass, and they rely on the running game, stopping the run. I like everything about the 49ers, except for the quarterback. Don't trust Brock Purdy. As much as I loved this story last year, don't trust him. Eagles are going to go back to the Super Bowl. Eagles and Jalen Hurts. I don't know what kind of jump we're going to describe it as, a Jalen Hurts-like jump. Whatever he's going to do this year, they're going to leap back into the Super Bowl, and they're going to play the Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Cool is going to stay healthy. Joe Cool is going to throw to those great wide receivers, and I think that they're going to go back to the Super Bowl. They're going to win the AFC, but they're not going to win the Super Bowl. I think this is the year the Eagles, motivated by that bitter, disappointing loss last year to the Chiefs. Nice call, Mully. But the Eagles are going to go back to the Super Bowl. They're going to beat the Bengals, and they're going to celebrate in Philly. Grease the poles, because the fans are going to be climbing them on Super Bowl Sunday. The Eagles will win the Super Bowl this year.
Well, I don't know if this is good or bad for either one of us, but David and I are very, very similar, and Fryer can attest to the fact that I had this written down on my sheet before we had David's answer. I have the Vikings winning the North, and for a lot of the same reasons that David gave. I am also going to dabble in the NFC East for my NFC representative, but it is not the Eagles. Typically, the loser of the Super Bowl has a very bad year the next year. So I can't go with the Eagles. I am going with the Cowboys. I am going Cowboys-Bengals in the Super Bowl.
Wow.
And I have Joe Cool in the Bengals beating the Cowboys in Las Vegas and winning the Lombardi Trophy.
This is pathetic. All of you people.
Oh, here it comes. 49ers Chiefs.
No. I have a big problem with the 49ers, which is Brock Purdy. And I think that all these, defensive coordinators go to work on guys, and they're going to go to work on what the Niners do and what Purdy does. And, I think it'll be Donaldson by the end of the year. Who knows? But I think that the Niners are going to struggle. I think that might be the best roster in the NFL. I just don't think you're going to win the Super Bowl with their quarterbacks. It's just a sad reality. And I think the NFC is a problem. It is really hard to figure out the NFC. It is one of these things where, Dustin, you mentioned it, only 3 teams in 56 have lost the Super Bowl and managed to win it the next year. There are only 3 teams, Super Bowl losers, that have come back and won the Super Bowl the following year. There are only 8 teams that have made that trip. But I've got the Eagles making that trip because I think they have the best offensive and defensive line combination in the NFL. I like the quarterback. I think they're going to be able to do a lot of things. Jalen Hurts works like a madman and can lift a house over his head, and he rarely gets hurt. All quarterbacks get hurt, and this is going to come down to who you get lucky with. I think Joe Burrow is a phenomenal player, and the fact that he's made it back for the start of the season from that calf injury, which I thought I needed more information on. I think Joe Burrow is going to lead his team to the Super Bowl. I think they'll play the Eagles. I think Joe Burrow I don't think he's good enough to beat the Eagles, but I'm taking him to beat the Eagles. So I got the Bengals over the Eagles for the Super Bowl, and Is that the same thing you picked? Or did
No,
you go
I
the
picked
other
the
way?
Eagles
Okay.
over the Bengals.
Yeah, so I'm going Bengals over Eagles. I hate that we all have the same ideas. I'm taking the Lions. The Lions are going to win the NFC North, and I think they're going to be a pretty good team this year. I think that they have. I'm very curious to watch them tonight, but I do think they'll end up winning the North.
Wow.
And I also believe they will eventually give it back.
You know
Not
that
this year.
lionsing is a verb for a reason.
I didn't pick them in the Super Bowl, but I picked them to win the division. So I'll live with it.
That's going to be a great Super Bowl to break down the Eagles and the Bengals when we're in Vegas, because I think we both now have
Yeah,
picked our side.
yeah. I think I like your pick.